explain it. When I close my eyes, I see a strange reality. Am I dreaming, or on the edge of remembering? You wake up feeling like you really don't belong. You can't explain it, but when you close your eyes you see familiarity. Are you dreaming, or on the edge of remembering? We are back, and I got my wool ordered today, and it works out finally after I think 4 tries. I got the right turquoise for repairing my 100-year-old scarf. This is just a lovely pink, and normally I'm not into that much pink, but I thought the sale price was impossible to resist. So I got 4 ounces, which was the maximum you could get at $2 an ounce. If it was just the normal price, I probably would have just gotten an ounce like that. The reason the turquoise is only an ounce is because I wasn't sure if this was going to be a success or another fail. So we are going to be trying out this pink because we're going to have a little project today to basically mess around with this and see what goes with it. See, I have this coral. I had a feeling the coral and the salmon would do really beautifully together, and I see I'm right. And they're both merino. At least one is 19 micron. Okay, so it's nice and fine. It'll felt beautifully. Okay, and for our green, I got the wrong one. I was trying to get this green, but you know, 2 different stores. So I made a mistake and I got the darker one, and which I've got plenty. Although this looks a little bit, is it darker? Let me check. I don't know how much they're growing on their own and dying on their own. How much is a shared import? No, it is a different color. Awesome. The more greens, the better. They do go together, so technically they are the same color. They're an ivy. But look at that. Beautiful. Okay. Weight issues, huh? A little extra, make sure it is a whole ounce. That was the regular price, so yeah. Not on sale. This is what I need more of. I used most of it in the flower purse. So we've got some of, oh yeah, I had that off. That is a beautiful green. See, I need a purse to go with this dress. Hello there, darling. How are you? Bonjour. Comment ça va? I got my order in today and I'm very excited because this is the correct, after all these tries, it's the correct color I've been looking for to work on this scarf. But we're going to get to that. First, you know, we'll just put everything back for the moment. You want everything in its right spot. Now the burgundy is a hard one. You know, as a wine color, it can end up here with the browns, but it can also go into the reds because this looks, they're calling it burgundy. Yeah, I guess it would be some kind of wine name. Look at that. Beautiful. Oh my goodness, that is gorgeous. Meh. What's got you down, Cookie? Today has been a really weird day here because we've got very high tree pollen, and that's already affecting, you know, been affecting me for a couple days. But then they are doing a deep cleaning of our carpets, and of course it's been needed for like, oh, I don't know, 20 years. So we're grateful, but the chemicals they're using are really nasty, and I discovered it by the smell that was coming, and I started choking. It's like, what the hell is that smell coming in my apartment? And open the door, and that's right in front of my door. They're deep cleaning the carpets. I'm surprised there'll be anything left of the carpets when they're done. Okay, well that is gorgeous. We're going to put that with the browns and all these other earthy tones. Oh, I can't wait to get more colors. I'm like hungry for the full palette, you know, like since each color is just like a paint color, because that's what it is, painting with wool. I just want them all. That's like 53 colors commercially available. Okay, so we've got a jumble of blues. This was aqua. It is aqua, which is gorgeous. Obviously way off. I could make it work with this the silk tassels, but I can't make it work with the silk itself, so ain't happening. Let me see. Let me read. Oh no. Oh dear. So are you telling me that you ended up feeling used and you did not enjoy your time? I think that's as close as I'm ever going to be able to get to that. And that is beautiful. And I'll have to use more than one color anyway because of this. This is actually the correct color. Wrong shade, but it's the correct color. Alright. I can make those work together. Not this one. That's beautiful. We have the viscose and the right color to help tie it all together. What do we have in that? Oh, no. Oh, no. What floor do you live on? We're getting closer. I did my first silk test yesterday. I'll show you. Oh, wait a minute. Where's my blue silk yarn? It should be here. Aha. Well, maybe you should return the favor next time you have to go grocery shopping for at least 10 kilos worth and have her help you up all the stairs to the 6th floor. Let's see if the same friendship kind of an attitude is extended to you. Okay, that was the first try to get something to go with that scarf. And I didn't like it. Where's the real silk? Here we go. This is real silk. And I'll be laying this out the full length of the scarf to give it strength. Because that scarf is falling apart just touching it. Now this is the synthetic. I was going to kind of weave some of these in together. Well, we will put it all together because I'm not ready to work on it. I have to have greater mastery of this, felting before I attempt something that has only one shot at doing. Because if I ruin it, and that's that. It's 100 years old. I cannot go back in time, even if I wanted to. Okay, let's move some of this stuff out of my way because it's in my way. Get some new colors I'm not going to use right now out of my way. Thank you. Okay, scarf. Oh, covered the phone. Oh no, huh? Avoid, avoid. So, how'd she find you? Oh, there you are. I got some blue, purpley yarn stuck in the zipper. There we go. Purple. Well, it felted it. Okay. Move these out of my way for the moment. I'm rearranging my studio because my life has become a corridor. I have so many art supplies right now. Not a complaint. It's just that I have no room. And I have to find ways to make room. So I've been looking at what can I give away. And if shipping was not so expensive, I would mail these things out. But even little canvas panels now cost so much to get out. Oh. I understand. By the way, can you help me up here? Someone's messaging me. It's my friend. Hold on a second. She is going through some hard stuff right now. So I want her to know she's not alone. I sent her a picture of a rainbow. Okay. Oh, and this. Well, we have our newest manager is making a greater effort to get the tenants to communicate more. Because you know how gossip is in a building, and like we've got a community room and we use it. Since I've been here, we have been using it more and more. I am glad to say. Also glad to say I'm part of that helped get that going, because They had one exercise class, and then they added a second exercise class, but like nobody was coming. So we started pushing for Tai Chi. It took 3 years, but we finally got it. I got people more interested in joining up with the coloring group. Is now the creative circle more, because we're doing multiple things, and I'm showing them how to do things too. So it's fun getting their fire lit, you know. So it's good, you know, we're getting more, but one of the problems is gossip. So we had a meeting basically to call out a few people who had been causing issues with their spreading stories about what they thought they knew and they didn't, and blah blah blah. You know, there's always somebody that thinks they know it, and then half-assed information gets out, and then people feel hurt. I even got caught up in it, and I had nothing to do with anything. I found myself going, wait, what? Who said that? And I went right to the person who said it, and I went, what did you say? Can you please explain to this man what you meant? Because I know you didn't mean me. You have to not let anything ride. You got to confront it immediately. But we tried to, like, everybody just shut up and mind your own business. But that's not human nature. It's human nature to want to be accepted. And one of the ways people feel more accepted is when they share information about a third party. Doesn't matter what the third party is. It could be a cat. But that sharing basically builds a kind of friendly moment, I guess, a social bond. So people are more, who are insecure and that kind of thing, or needy, are more likely to do inappropriate sharing. Okay, so yesterday I discovered a shortcut, because getting this wool to go through this silk was taking more effort than I expected. And like, okay, well, it's a learning curve. It's my first time. It's still too fuzzy, but the cool thing about felting on silk is that it makes the silk shrink. So you get the puckers. And you want that. You want texture, and, you know, silk has its own, as you see, it's very shiny. So you get the different textures and different lights and all that. But what I did was, I have this vibrator, and it's a massage wand, but it's one of the newer digital kind, and it vibrates so much you don't even want to touch it to hold it, much less, you know, hold it up to your neck or anywhere else. It is just a horrible thing. But I watched somebody do wet felting with a sander without the sandpaper. The reason being is it vibrates real fast, and it saves all of this rubbing by doing that. So I wrapped up my stuff in the vibrator and let it just bzzz on the table, and it felted it. So I only did it once, and then the battery ran down, so I had to charge it up again. It's a crack up, because, you know, there is no way I can use that on my body, because, like, I tried. I have a lot of spasm issues, but I'm too skinny. That might be good for someone who's got a lot of padding, and I don't know, maybe, but it really works good on felting. So it has a new job, and I'd been actually thinking of, how am I going to dispose of this? It's got one of those, it's a rechargeable battery, you know, and I've never had to get rid of one of these things before, and you can't just throw it in the trash. So, like, I don't have to worry about just throwing it away. Now I can just keep it as long as it keeps buzzing my fabric. So this was my first experiment of laying out merino wool and then felting it. So I'm going to probably play with it some more, but the color itself doesn't really interest me. That's why I used it, because I felt it's expendable. If it doesn't come out at all like I like, it doesn't matter, because I don't like this color very much. I mean, as a color, it's lovely. I'm only only making things I can wear or use, and this is not a good color for me. Oh, well, these are the pink. So what are you up to today? I got new wool today. I'm excited about it. I'm finishing up some projects, working on some others, like that beautiful flower purse I made. I'm working on finishing up the button for it. And a friend of mine gave me actual buttons at bingo last night. And by the way, I won at bingo last night 3 times. Once I got a $20 gift card. It was for Walmart, but it's still, I can buy what I want. So my friend brought some buttons that she had down. This one I just realized has a nick in it, so I'm probably not going to want to use it. But this purse, aside from the strap, which I haven't made yet, I think it just needs a button about there. What do you think? It's still a little wet. I haven't done any buttons like this yet. I've been doing the loop buttons. So I make the loop and then, attach it. Digesting food and packing up. Going home tomorrow for a few days. Oh! Stretching is a smart thing to do. Always a smart thing to do. Matter of fact, I can tell right now I have a tic, but when I have stressed out neck muscles, I get tics from pressure being on the nerves. That tells me right there, it's like, okay, we're gonna stretch a little here and unkink the neck. Of course, a lot of it comes from doing this kind of thing and rolling thousands of steps worth. My tracker tells me every roll, I guess, or 2 rolls is a step. So right now it says 3,270 steps, and believe me, I haven't walked that much in the apartment today. I'm going to make a hole in the flap, and the button will be here. But I think I'm going to wait. Either I'll make a button or I've got to go and see what I can find at the local stores. Michael's craft store does not have much for buttons. They're all about beads, things like that, which is something I could do. Also, I can make a bead into a button because I don't really need one that has holes in it like that. I need one that has a shank on the back so that there's room for like this, like that. So the button has to, get looped here. So I got this attached, and now I've been working on the rope for it. It's a crossbody pocket, and I'm just calling them poches de joie, pockets of joy. Gives me joy to make them because all my clothes have no pockets, and that's what started this. New dresses, no pockets. That could be. You feel better after it? Well, I would try more slow motion stretches first of all. And how do you feel about drinking a glass of milk or tomato juice? because either one has a lot of electrolytes in it, which is really good for your muscles. I get cramps in my feet, and if I get cramps in both, or my calves when I try to stretch them, I know it's magnesium deficiency, and I take a capsule and walk around until the cramps go. But if it's just one part, like I've got a bunion and that hurts, it's not necessarily magnesium, so I try massage and walking and stretching first. The milk is, a glass of milk is the fastest way to rehydrate. Faster than Gatorade or any of those artificial things. It has all of the, I'm not suggesting that you drink milk really, except if you're feeling dehydrated. If you're dehydrated, it's a fast return. But if it's on a regular basis, milk is not all that good for you. But if you don't want to do milk, tomato juice is also very high in electrolytes. I keep V8 because I don't like just plain tomato juice. I don't usually get desperate for electrolytes, but the last 2 times I was hospitalized was for dehydration. And they just had me laying there for hours while they gave me fluids with electrolytes. So it can happen really fast, even when you drink plenty of water, because water doesn't have any electrolytes. You have to add them. So I'm not recommending anybody do this either, but I buy this stuff. I've been trying to find something that tastes like it. I have to drink so much water a day, which is why I number the tops of my bottles, and I rotate them. And I buy this, and I put this much, like an ounce of the actual vitamin stuff, because it's really not. It's just to help break the surface tension. So I fill it up with water from my refrigerator, a pure filter. So I fill up my pitcher every day a couple of times, and just a little bit of this, just enough to break the surface tension, and that's more hydrating than plain water. But your vegetable juice is full of electrolytes. Iron will block calcium absorption. That's right. I was thinking of you yesterday. You have a very dairy-heavy diet. You love cheese, which I understand because I love cheese too. And when I'm feeling a need for calcium, I usually get a craving for cheese. But you might just need something to help you digest the cheese better, or break it down better, make things more bioavailable. I seem to recall us having a conversation about that. The variation in the diet is your safest road to health, good health. Getting too much into any one thing usually is not good for the body. But the bottom line about it is going to be what you believe about it, not what I tell you, but what your internal belief is. If you feel bad when you reach for that food, you better stop right there. If there's an emotional disconnect and you don't want that food because you feel bad or guilty or ashamed or any bad feeling to eat, to go with that food, stop right there. You're hurting yourself. If you feel like this is answering a need and truly a blessing in your life, don't let anybody talk you out of it. Try it. Variations of carrot. Yep. Yeah, no wonder. Calcium blocks, or iron blocks the absorption of calcium, But have you had your, I mean, listen, when it comes to vitamins, especially calcium, because the wrong amount of calcium in your blood can kill you, um, you're young, so you're not going to feel the effects as fast as some people, but it does add up, which is why you want to know. Never dose yourself with a vitamin unless the doctor has done a blood test. When I started menopause, and I was 50 years old, the big thing was calcium. You must have calcium, and they started making calcium in every form you could think of, including caramels. Like, just eat 3 of these or 4 a day, and you're going to get all the calcium you need. And women need this, you need that. And they started just bullshitting, throwing figures out there that were not even real. You need 50% more calcium. So I tend to be prudent about how much I take of anything anyway, but I went out and I bought a bag of these chewable chocolate calcium things. Like, well, I'll remember it if I like it. And I started just like 1 extra a day, just 1 instead of the whole, to see if there's, well, it turned out I had to see the doctor for something else. They ran a blood test, and she was freaked out. She said, why is there calcium in your blood serum? Are you taking calcium? And I said, yeah. I'm menopausal now, or perimenopausal, and blah, 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 blah. I'm 50. She said, stop. Never just dose with calcium unless the blood tests tell you that's what you need. So go by the blood test. It should. Anything that isn't a multiple vitamin has been tested for. That's how they came to the conclusion of daily requirements for a vitamin. Now, I don't take calcium supplements if I feel needy. The real answer to absorbing your calcium is D3. So if you're low on D3, you're not going to be absorbing the calcium you need. And you're iron deficient, which is, you don't eat a normal diet. You can't get everything you need from dairy, so you do need some supplementation, but you need a doctor to tell you what to take. It's too dangerous to just do what people. I realize they're fast, but I worked as a manager for a health food store in Southern California back in the 80s. I happened to be there as a manager when there was a big trade, Whole Foods and Earth Fairs and all that stuff was blowing through town. And those people were checking out the local health food stores to see what was there and also to get their stuff. And the problem I saw right away was they were full of shit. And then I started looking deeper because I didn't like some of these people that came in. It's like they're all about money. They don't seem to care about anything else. I really don't see that in them. And how people talk. And they were talking about the convention, and because it was like a 3-day convention. It was insulting to the intelligence, but they just plain out lie. They make a product, and they find a way to pitch it, and it's all the advertising, and they push it. And it doesn't mean there's any validity to it. It's just advertising. So that's very disturbing, when you realize okay, today I watched a commercial here on YouTube for electrolytes. Make it yourself. But she started talking, and when she started talking, I realized she doesn't even know what salt is. She's talking about salt, and she doesn't really understand what she's saying. And it's all and the minerals from the earth, the good earth. It's like, yes, sodium chloride's also from the good earth. It's like, no, it's all the bullshit, the health food bullshit. Yes, food is healthy. Supplements often aren't. It's just a money-making scheme, and the old stuff repackaged. It's like, I really was hoping that by the time I hit this age, and this much time had passed, and we got into past the year 2000, I really was kind of hoping that there'd be more smartness when it comes to all that stuff, and instead it's gone the other way. It's even worse. Madison Avenue runs everything. I have to take iron. I take some in a multivitamin, but I'm on chemo, and that every day, and also my blood disease, that all changes the way I process iron. So I'm on D3 by over the counter, but prescribed. Iron over the counter, but prescribed. And I've got a bunch of other vitamins on reserve, like magnesium. You don't take that every day. You shouldn't unless you have a doctor say you are so magnesium deficient you need to add this to your diet. But I have things around for those occasions, like when I'm if I've been ill or something, I know I need more electrolytes from that. People around here in this country, they believe that if it's out there for sale, it must be okay. And we also have the same caveat emptor, buyer beware. If no one's being beware. It's like, oh, just if it's on the shelf, it must be okay. It's like, nope, big lie, big lie. It just means that somebody paid for that space on the shelf. And that's it. It doesn't mean you're even getting what you think you're buying. Well, you might be getting more than you think you're getting. Like, I have some lung issues, so I use Mucinex, which is a very safe drug by itself. It's just guaiacol, and that's got a very long history of safety and pretty much no interactions with any other known drug. And it's not an expensive one, but if you get it through the Mucinex thing, so it's a time release tablet, of course the price goes right up. So I bought generic, and then they examined the generic and discovered that it basically had a bunch of poison in it, and it was not good for you because there wasn't enough quality control. And these companies are just allowed to self-regulate. And let's be real. If they're allowed to just take care of themselves and make their own rules, come on, people. You got to know that they're going to cut corners wherever they can. They're going to buy cheaper stuff. It's all about the money. It's not about you. The pharmacist YouTuber who tests these weird supplements. No, I'm assuming this is a young person who isn't worried about damaging his own body because of the resilience of youth. At my age, doesn't pay. Okay, so we've got 2 little rosebuds, and now I need to put little leafy things on them. Now this is felt that I made already specifically for this project. Made a little sheet of the pinks, made a little sheet of the greens. Oh, now that's a good idea. Yeah, send them to the lab. Exactly. We have so much stuff that is just out there. And you know where that all started? Like guarana and all. That's just because truckers are forced to drive straight across the country. And it took me 6 days I've crossed the country 3 or 4 times now. It's always taken 6 days. Those are sane driving hours. 8 hours of driving a day, a night to rest and eat dinner and shower, and then on the road the next day. Truckers don't get that luxury. They are expected to cross the country in half that time, which means they're staying up all night, and they need speed, and that's where all of the meth comes in, and cocaine, although not so much cocaine because that's more of a rich person's elitist buzz, I guess. All the drugs in the filling stations, they're there originally were there for the truckers, the people who were just trying to make a living and stay alive and alert on the road. It started with caffeine pills. That's what they were selling when I was young enough to be a trucker. I was not a trucker. I was a waitress. I waited on some truckers. Now, I don't know if I'm making this strong enough. We're going to find out by using it. That's the only way I can test my own product. Looking down, making me twitchy. Oh, he does. Oh my. Oh, okay. Well, that is funny. So basically, he's another person who's made his living having to stay awake and keep others awake. When I was a waitress, I was also a singer, songwriter, performer, but you can't live on your music alone if you're not famous. It takes a while to get famous. I got married instead. Not instead, it's just that's how it worked out. Okay, I want you on this side. There's a station here, and I subscribe to it, but I don't remember the name because I haven't seen a recent post. Stabbing into Creation, or it starts with stabbing, and it's needle felting. She's very funny and very good. And I thought about it's like, yeah, that's what you're doing. You're stabbing things into creation. Okay, I don't like that there. Let's make another one back there. It turns out I like working with this foam, but every pin crunch is the needle popping the bubbles in the foam. So after a little bit of work, you end up with a soft spot, until you end up with nothing but soft spots, and you can't use it in the way in which it was intended to be used. I don't even know where to buy it. I haven't seen anything exactly like it. I've been checking, and for a moment I had a hope of florist foam working, but it's not florist foam. This is actually layered. It's made in layers. 1, 2, 3, 4 layers of foam that are glued together. Come back here. It works really well. I have a professional, so-called professional pad, and I discovered a problem with it. The felt attracts the wool, like I'm trying to actually felt it into this, and then you've got the challenge of taking off all the color before you work on another project and transfer fibers. So I like this because this does not hold on to it the same way. Ouch, there we go. All right. You can't put too much because the loop is going to be coming from behind like that, and then when it's open it'll just keep it closed. It's not like that purse is going to have a lot of strain. Ah. Well, you know what's really cool? Those thinner ones is what I use kind of that to make the templates for the wet felting. Okay, so this is done. I can just put that in the box for now. We're not going to need these needles. Don't need that little scrap. You know what I need? I need a fresh cup of tea. And this is Cupid. Too small to. I'll save that piece though. Okay. And this is the strap I'm making for this purse. Seafoam? You mean styrofoam? I have some, but it just pops the big pieces out. It's made differently. A different kind of foam technology. You know, this might be easier if I just fasten this down and use this tool. This tool thickens it, but you have to go in an angle, and this is just like a pain in the ass. The more you do this, the tighter it gets and the stronger it gets. So although it's small, it's deceptive. It has a lot of wool knitted behind it. Like this poofy, as poofy is not going to stay poofy. Oh God, the fumes that are coming in from the hallway. Oh, it's making my eyes burn. At least there's a breeze outside and they've got the windows in the hall open. I have cut styrofoam and taped it together to make molds. My big purse, I used this for the mold because I wanted the square shape. I wanted to make sure the bottom was wide and flat. And then the strap I made for that was matching same materials, colors and all that, and it was wider. So like this, but instead of the rope style, wider. Now for this brown bag here, it has a towel in it right now, stretching it out. I was thinking of doing a strap like this for this, you know, the same thing. Not sure. I can take my time. Now I've got one in the bedroom I need to iron. I want to iron some folds into it before I weave the strap through it, which of course I made to match. Dangerous, right? 3 needles. Now this is apparently a common tool for felters. It has to be used a specific way, but I bought mine from Temu to help round out a minimum order. So it was only, I don't know, $2 or $3, it wasn't much. But the American-made one, or I should say made in China but put under the American label, is like $6, $7. So I thought, so the only, I don't know if it's an exact clone, probably not, because when you're working on it, this part comes off like I'm going to change the needles. So I taped it. What I like about it, it's got a cover. I have these dangerous puppies. These are serious, deadly weapons, you know. And I don't have covers for either of these. Both came separately in different sets. They're good for felting larger areas at a time. And it's too wide for this kind of work. You have to stay in a row when you're doing this and keep it on a slight angle. And that knits all the fibers together and into the pad. That's the part I don't want. But then I will go through and probably I'm going to try using one of those roll-on sticky back things, like lint collectors. Might work. Now, when I get tired of this, which is not going to be long from now, I want to play with my new wool. I came across, well, people using their creations as night lights and mood lighting, and some of them are amazing sculptural works that hang on the wall. I will not be doing that. I found the first one I made for myself, actually for a friend. I realized it would be too much for her to put back in shape after I mailed it. So I decided, well, let's try it out, and I put it in my bedroom. I put my little light in it, and I love it there. It is such a nice warm little glow, so I want to make some more of those, because I think those make sweet gifts because you can fold them up, they're washable. What's not to like about that? And you use a fake little candle in it, you know, not a real one. I know, kind of. My favorite nib holder disappeared somewhere. I don't know where it went. I guess I made one move too many and I lost some of my art supplies. I used to have a nice set of nibs. But I am going to be taking apart my studio to make room for all my new stuff. So I'm reorganizing my shelves, and so there's a small hope I might come across something as I keep unpacking and repacking. Also, I'm looking at what can I give away. Now, the community has a bingo game twice a month, and we donate the prizes. So it's everything from your used plates. Yes, people put their used plates. To whatever you have that you want to get rid of, but is still decent enough to give away. Yesterday, I won this bracelet. I don't usually wear bracelets, but it made me think of Wonder Woman, and that I can relate to, so I took it. And the second winning, I let a new person at our table go ahead and pick out something for herself instead. And then I won the bigger prize of the $20 gift certificate, and I was happy. So I had a very lucky day. And I donated some dried flowers that I purchased for when I produced my Toblerone calendar. I did all the backdrops, so I had a bunch of fake flowers and different things to try for backgrounds. And I kept a few of them because they're almost real looking. And the rest of them I just gave away. So I'm going through, it's like, what can I donate to bingo? There's actually a few people in the building that collect my work, so who knows? But most of us are this, like, come on, we're old ladies now. How much stuff do we need to collect? And how much do we want to dust in the future? The thought of having more things to dust right there will make me say no. In fact, a woman wanted to give me something that I knew she spent a lot of time on, just because basically I complimented her, and she's kind of needy. She wanted to give me this massive crocheted doll thing, and it's like, nope, no offense. It's beautiful, it's an amazing piece of work. I have no place for it. That I didn't even want to keep my own stuff. I'm giving it away. I have nowhere to put it, and it's one more thing to dust. So she understood, and said maybe, someone will buy it. I can see the amount of work that went into it. $50 would not be too much to ask for that kind of large handmade project. She's really, really good at crochet. So I'm going to stop doing this for a moment so I don't overdo any muscles and give myself some problems. We'll work on this more later or tomorrow, because as you can see, it's a long one. I've got a long way to go. But I've already done the hot water or very warm water. It's as freely felted as it's going to be. And I did the rolling and all that, so it's now, I just want to make sure that nothing makes this break. Because, if you're going around with your purse, you don't want that to be just something that gives out on you. Of course, this is small and it's never going to have that much weight, but it should be, strong no matter what. Especially because I'm making this extra long, because I wanted to offer this as one of the prizes for bingo, and several of the people who play, who might like this, are very large women. I want to make sure that they have the option of being able to wear it. This is actually for me, because this goes with one of my new dresses. So I made this, and that's what started the whole thing, making things, pockets for my dresses. And that's the big thing, right? Useful stuff. Okay, so in the vein of useful stuff, let's put you away. I'm going to have to actually use needle and thread to sew this on. It's too dense for me to needle it into the purse. That is going to look so pretty. I just am not good with sewing, so I tend to put that off, but we won't put it off for too long, otherwise I won't get it done. Okay, let's get the colors out. All right, so I want to make a nightlight, and I want it to be like a flower. So we're going to use that beautiful new salmon pink merino wool that I just got in, and I've got some lovely pale yellow that we can use as the lights move up. And how do I want to do this? We're going to do it this way. All right, let's get that's a good size. Let me get the jar that I'm going to model that on. I might want to just cut a new one. There you go. One of my sprouting jars. This is a good model. So that'll work. Actually, I can shorten it, can't I? So online, if you wanted to get directions for making this from actual professional felters, it's called a hurricane lamp. That's the style, I guess. Hurricane lamps, I owned one or two in my time. I actually did walk through a hurricane. Was it a hurricane? No, it was a blizzard. Walked through a blizzard with my little lantern like some strange little woman in the night. Actually, it wasn't the night, it was the day, but with the blizzard, it was hard to tell. I was going to work in a bakery, and nothing could stop me from going to work. That was my attitude back then. I think a little differently now, but that was my attitude back then. All right, so felt, if you do it right, is going to shrink. So I just want to make sure that we're going to have plenty of coverage here. All right, so what you do is you lay out your wool. No, actually, the first thing you do is you gather your wool together to get all the colors that you're going to work with in one place. And who's writing to me now? Nope. And I asked my ex-husband, how was the fishing? Too late. Late. Too late in the season? I asked him how the fishing was. My ex-husband, the first one, not the second. The second one I don't talk to. First one found me after 30 years, and we exchange a few notes now and then. He just sent me a picture of a place that we used to go fishing, and he's been up there every year for the last 40 years. So he sent me a sunset from the lake, and I asked him, how's the fishing? And he said, not good, too late. So I just wrote back, too late in the season or too late at night? Okay, let's get the pink. Oh, this is so pretty. I'm so glad I ordered the maximum amount that I could on sale. Whoa, this color must not have been moving or something. I can dust. Oh, that is such a pretty color. I don't know why it wouldn't move, but you know, this is from a farm down in Pennsylvania. That's at least 9 hours from here on the road. Yep. It is a natural product from natural fields with natural sheep. Natural phlegm. A little more pink. Yeah, let's get more. Ooh. I like that. That'll be very nice and glowy as well. You know, I think some peachy, we need some peachy color. We need some more of that. Actually, that coral is pretty peachy, isn't it? But that's not what I had in mind. Okay, a little more of you. Now this, I'm not sure if it's merino or corydale, actually. The difference is merino is more silky and feels kind of nice against the skin, and corydale is better for outerwear. It's a little rougher. I mean, it's still really soft, but it makes it's better for like your coats and hats and things like that. Yeah, see, this is what I was thinking of. Yeah, I kind of like that flamey color. And we have viscose. Ooh, maybe. I use some of this brilliant. Wow. Okay, this is bamboo, most likely. This was like a kit that came with an assortment of fibers to try, all in the same kind of family. But my guess is, yeah, this is viscose. Viscose is bamboo that's been turned into a fiber that can be turned into a yarn. Now this is another thing that they sell. I forget what these are called. There was an actual name for it. It's like these little teeny bits of felted dots, and you just break them up and sprinkle them on, and I guess we could play with that too. Why not? Oh, they're popping everywhere. And these are silk threads taken from a sari. All right, let's try a couple of those. Look at that. Now I thought, oh, I've got something made out of rescued sari. Maybe I can do this and I'll have some myself. It's like, and then I saw what it takes. It's like, nope, I will just buy it. It's a lot easier than making your own. Now, I'm gonna not want all of this out here, and we're not gonna use a lot of it. The problem with all of these right here is that you can't just felt it. When you lay it out, you have to have some wool to hold it down. So you have to keep that in mind for your colors. Oh, come back here. My template ran away. Here we go. Boy, am I gonna have some sweeping to do tonight. Okay, and now we have a little bit of that green. I want the base to be green. Because I want us to kind of think of a flower, but I don't want a lot of green. We just need a little bit. Okay. This is the fun part. I already have my soapy water sitting here. See, it makes lots of rude noises. More importantly, it makes foam. I like the foam. Okay. I am going to want to put these in the order. We're going to see, right? Okay. So when we start doing this, we start always in one direction. And you want the wisps to be lightweight. Very wispy, with a little bit hanging over the edge, because we're going to be flipping this over to do the other side to make a round. I'll probably have to get a little bit more of that. Oh, let's lay the rest of it out. Now this I know is 19 micron, so this is just so silky. It's going to blend beautifully. Tweezers along a thread from the field. Now I would love to get some nice fine merino in this color. Like a bunch of it, enough to do a project. Okay. That might have been one of my own hairs. Okay, first layer down. Wow, what a long staple. Bit lighter than air. Now, they shipped this metallic fiber in with this, and right in the garbage that went. But it's still all over the damn place. I'm not anti-metallics, but I prefer metallic that's wrapped around a natural fiber, not just sparkly stuff that you gotta really batten down. I can't imagine having that next to my skin either. It's like very irritating. Yeah, this little bit goes a long way with that. This is a gorgeous silk rescued from saris. Again, you don't want it too much because you have to use more fiber to hold this stuff down. And you might not want a whole lot of that after you get your design. need to get some more yellow. A little bit more peach. Needs more there. If I make this a little stronger on the bottom, it's going to make a better mold later. All right, let me go. We need to get more yellow. Oh, wait a second. You did a whole bunch of writing? Oh, there you go. Okay. I thought it scrolled back, and I thought you put a whole bunch of writing, and I didn't see it. Oh, I did see it. All right, we need a little bit of green for the other side. This. Got this gorgeous mint green. I'm looking forward to doing something with that. It's so pretty. All right, and we are very, very pale yellow. I hope that's it. And there are two sides are going to look different. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm about ready to take a coffee break, or in my case, tea break. Come on. Now it looks like I'm covering everything up. It will be visible when the felting process begins, because all these layers will start to work through each other. Okay, it is time to cover and spritz. Cover. And because I'm going to have to do it this way, really. Let's cover and get those soaking wet. Wrong color in there. Okay, we make root sounds and then make wet. And squeeze the water gently through from the center to the outer edges. You stay over there. Stay down. We have to flip you over so we can do the other side. Okay, let me see. What do you think of that? Oops. I'm not making it longer. I'm just trying to protect the fuzzy end because I don't want to fold them over. Okay, let's get this. Now all these little things that don't look like much right now are going to show through when the light comes through it because it's going to be lit up from within and it's going to look cool. Yeah, the camera angle's not all that great. I must have kicked the tripod. Let's use that up first. I hope I have more of this. Okay, now the other direction. All right. Well, I did not expect to run out of that, but we're well. That's not going to work. Big time off. Well, that's a bummer. Changing colors in the middle of the string. Well, let's see how far this will go. Not very. So we're gonna go there. Well, I'm saying I need to make a list of colors to purchase. We're not going to call on that one. We have serious gaps in the color wheel here. So let's see. All right. Let's see what we've got. I'm going to sprinkle these. Okay, last layer and the last of this pale yellow, so we just made it. Just barely. Okay. Let's try again. Where is my other piece? Here it is. Okay, you go over there and dry. Okay. Now get rid of a little excess water. Now I want this not to get felted together. So let's see what I've got. There we go. Okay, I better do something with that. Well, we're just going to have to set it aside for now. I don't have a convenient place for it. Now, what's wrong with that picture right there. I don't mind some natural fibers getting mixed in with natural fibers, but when it's black and it is against a pale color, if it doesn't look like it's part of the design, it's gotta go. And it's fine in the darker colors, but up in the yellow, I want the yellow to be very, very yellow. Okay. I don't want to take all of you, just that dark one. There we go. I can feel the water come through like there, so we know that there's a line of holes right there. Now, I don't know why some of that do. I mean, I know there's some that have perfs in them, but I didn't see any perforations in this roll. There was a heavy-duty pool cover kind of bubble that the professionals tend to invest in because, you know, the regular shipping bubble wrap is just not adequate. It wears out, it leaks where you don't want it to. And the other one lasts years and years and years. So I like to invest in that. When I went looking though, the starting price was like $50 and up. Like, I don't need a whole pool cover, I just need the material. So I'll keep my eyes open with some of the professionals who are giving lessons and stuff online. Okay, so we see a lot of our little black hairs there, so we're just going to get rid of that. And I've got a bigger towel behind me. Made just for this. Oops. So who's here? Doc, Gary, are you here? Because I want to take a station break. Unfortunately, that means going off the air, or are you having to listen to a song? I need to stretch out because I'm starting to get cramps in the neck. And I'd like a fresh cup of tea. It's almost tea time. All right, look at that. It's already starting to felt. You can tell when it's starting to become fabric. We don't want that. Now, all these little lumps, they're going to show up with the light on the inside. Okay, that's starting to feel like fabric. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Nice and smooth. As loose wool fibers turn into fabric. It's a miracle. It is for me because I can't sew, so it's awesome to be able to do this. Now, this silky merino isn't going to stand up like a hurricane lamp very well on its own. So this will actually be the first piece that I starch. And that will be done with a spray starch that'll be ironed in. And I'm just beginning to learn about the finishes. You can actually use like an acrylic medium, which will make it very hard shelled. I am not going to do that because I want something that can be washed. And if you do the acrylic medium, I've noticed over the years that the acrylic will attract dust. And it's not easy to clean without marring the surface. So I have to have an alternative. And it sounds like spray starch is the thing. That way it can be washed out and sprayed back in. At least it's not something just sitting on a shelf gathering dust and getting ugly over time. It can be refreshed at any time with a water and vinegar bath. Oh, not yet. It needs more felting. We're going to roll her up. And open up little holes. More of a lacy effect when the light is coming up. You got a pink hair going all the way up. What the hell? Yep, we got it. Okay. I could put the vibrator in this and let that finish it off. As weird as that sounds. Finish the felting. It does save a lot of the neck strain. Where are you coming from? Must be my hair. All right. Let's flip that over again, get the excess off. Yeah, you are a big hole there. Now this could also cover a pot. Yeah, potted plant. Yep. Next door neighbors having a bad day. I am going to let this sit and get some memory while it's shrinking. And I'm going to go for the day. I'll be back tomorrow after I go to the store. Thank you for hanging out with me. Go forth and make the rest of your day as beautiful as you can. Think about happy things, and we'll see what it brings.